and look at it. It was almost like an alien type thing. It was really different. It wasn't like a, ghostly white mist or nothing like that. It was just simply transparent and moving. It was only there for a few seconds. And the young man that was with his mom, he was 18. He goes, "Did it walk right there?" And he said, "I saw that." I was like, "Wow, that's crazy. I saw that." But upstairs, we've had a friend of mine. She came out to the Crime and Punishment Museum. Her husband is a retired police officer, and he was standing right next to her, and her breast was fondled. And then we've had people that, that's been touched on their butts. We had a simultaneous touch. Two people at the same time in the basement got touched, and they were 7 feet apart from each other, and they both reacted at the same time. And she goes, "Oh my God, I got touched!" And it's like the girl heard her telling her friends, she goes, "I got touched too." They both reacted. So it's kind of weird that I've never seen two people get touched at the same time. It's kind of weird. But as far as distinguishing if they're inmates or not, the only thing I know is with Miles' crib, I really believe he's there. They framed the collar that he wore the day he was executed, and it has blood on it, and it's just hanging it's on the wall 3 feet from the trap door that dropped out from under you, and when they hanged you. So he's I believe he's there. My very first time there, November the 7th and 8th of 2014, I went into death row cell, sat down in death row on the bed, and I said, "Miles," and nobody that was with me knew that I didn't went in there and said anything, but I just said, "Miles, if you can prove to me your existence, I'll leave you a cigarette." And so that was around 9:30 at night. It was about 10:30, about an hour later or so, 10:30, almost 11 at night. Then to myself, I was going through I was just filming, and I captured all this on video, except for the going in the cell part. But we were just filming, just showing people this is it's our first time there. So we wanted to show people that this is a real jail, it's a real cells. And I knocked on the cell wall 3 times, to show people this is a real cell. Boom, boom, boom. And then 39 seconds later, as I'm saying, in the men's side they had 16 beds, and on the women's side, as I'm saying, on the women's side and stepping through that doorway, we got the boom, boom, boom came from death row's wall. And so we froze to see if maybe we could hear somebody running or something, because you want to try to debunk it right away, and see what was up. And we didn't hear anything later on in the equipment. We didn't hear nothing. But when we went downstairs, our guys were standing out there with the museum curator's daughter and all them. They were all standing out there. We wanted everybody outside so we could do a quiet EVP session. And when we come out there, we asked anybody to knock on anything. They're like, no. And then anybody come in the building? But they're standing there where they could see both doors. And like, no. They're like, oh, my God. But we caught that on video. So, and then, again, I'm just blown away with that place.
Yeah. Jeffrey, do you remember that one time we were there and we heard a very loud it was a noise that sounded like something was hanging from the ceiling, and when you put 2 and 2 together, it was a phantom noise or what you could call a phantom noise. What sounded like somebody being hung, and it was sound exactly the way that when you look at the rope, it is tied to the ceiling, and if someone is dropped on that rope and the rope finally comes tight, and it'll make a loud vibrating noise throughout the whole facility, and that's what it did. And I never forget that. I still to this day, I never forget that one piece of evidence.
So primarily, all the deaths that occurred in the jail was by hanging. Is that right? Hello?
Jeffrey? Jeffrey? He might be having some technical difficulties. But from what I know, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe that there was an electric chair there too. The electric chair that is there, I could be wrong, but it's not the original electric chair that was there. But I think I remember him telling me about an electric chair. Yeah. There's so much stuff, so many happenings that actually happen at this location, and one must wonder, if it's just that or if more happened there, and it's not documented. Jeffrey's saying that he lost me. It was a line. Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Oh, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I don't know what happened, but
okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but
Stan's question was all the executions there, was it strictly by hanging or was it by other means?
No, it was by hanging only. And I mean, we have the electric chair there. It's a replica of old Sparky that Georgia used to use. It was built by mates down in Reedsville, but hanging was the only type of execution that occurred there. And that was like a brand new thing. I mean, a brand new jail. The Turner County Courthouse and the Turner County Jail were built simultaneously, right next to each other. And it was really convenient, because you get the sheriff that lives downstairs with his family and the inmates are upstairs in the jail. And but yeah, that's the only, and here's the thing, there's only 2 documented hangings over the whole time. It just seems like they would have got more usage out of it, rather than 2 hangings over a period of 7 years for all the money that they spent for to put that in there. And so I think, that, I talked to some of the older people. I mean, the really older people in the town, and they're talking about the midnight justice and vigilante justice, and that did occur there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Georgia, South Georgia, it's has a history of the Ku Klux Klan and things like that. That's just part of the history, And so they even have a Ku Klux Klan uniform or outfit or whatever that was found in a basement. I used to think it was the basement. I mean, not the basement, the attic. I used to think it was the attic at the jail, but it wasn't. It was, I don't know where it came from, but it came from somebody locally. Early 1900s.
So for you, before the Crime and Punishment Museum, what got your start into paranormal investigating? Did you start doing cemeteries?
No, I think you probably remember. I'd only been in the paranormal investigating for a very short amount of time when I got invited to be an observer, to sit in on an investigation. My first residential. I never did a residential. And of course, you remember that case with this little boy.
Yes.
And what was going on. So that was kind of out of my league, because we took up the case because the other paranormal team quit the case.
Yeah.
And so I got you, because if you wouldn't have came, I don't know what I would have done, to be honest with you. I worked with them for 2 years. For 2 years you worked with them. And just like you said on your show the other night, you got to do, the aftercare.
That's right.
And, and it's that's a big thing. And it's really important. You got all these people that claim to be demonologists and all that, and they're just going to get somebody hurt.
That's right. Yeah. You know what? I think I remember one of the craziest nights was there at the Crime and Punishment. Some of the guests went down to the basement. One of them didn't come out the same.
The 2 females.
Yeah.
You know, Leon, when she was standing on the steps
Mm-hmm.
and you went to your vehicle to get something, and there was a rock that hit your vehicle,
Yeah.
we were watching her. She didn't throw that rock. And when you said somebody threw a rock, and she had said it in like a demonic voice. She goes, "I did it."
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
"No, you didn't." I was standing right here watching you. You didn't, because we had to keep a close eye on her because of her behavior.
Yeah. What happened is that it was moved telekinetically. Whatever manifested through her actually moved it without actually physically moving it. That's why whenever the rock came past me, I felt it just felt weird, you know. So that's why I asked who threw the rock, and I already knew who threw the rock, but I wanted it to tell me, and it did.
I think I was more concerned about your safety that night because I didn't know what was going to happen to you.
Oh, that was a crazy night. My goal for that night was just to get them off the property. I knew that if her sister got off the property, she would calm down. Because whatever she encountered there in the basement sparked what was already attached to her, and it was crazy. I remember you coming to get me. I was inside of the Crime and Punishment, just talking with somebody, and you said, "Lee, I think we need you out here." and all I did was just go talk to the person. I asked if I can pray for her. She said yes, and I went to. She didn't know that I had holy water on my hands, and when I went to pray for her, she looked at me, and you can tell that it wasn't her. It was something else. And it said, "Don't you effing touch me." I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was a crazy night. I was trying to get out of her view so she would get off the property, because it seemed like the more it was looking at me through her, it was riling up, and it wanted some of me for some reason. I was trying to get out of her view, and lo and behold, it didn't happen, and it challenged me, and I challenged back, and it knew quickly that I wasn't backing down, and I told her sister, "Get her off this property, and I will call you in the morning." And she did. She finally got her off the property, and I called them the next morning, and I scheduled a time for us to come out and visit. And during that visit, we got rid of what was there. We did a good, thorough cleansing of her home, and nothing else has happened since.
Yeah, I when I first you're going back to your question, what all we had done prior to the Crime and Punishment Museum. We got to go into an old house one time. It was in Bon Air. It was pretty crazy. Got a good scare out of that place. If that hadn't been with somebody, we had a door slam inside the house, and there was all the doors were locked, and all the interior doors were open. We wanted to open all the cabinets, make sure there was nobody there.
Yeah.
And door slammed. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong business right now. I want to get out this window, and it really scared me. I was very fresh at this. So I got through that, and we got that case that you helped us on. And from there, we picked up the Crime and Punishment Museum. But we also did after we got with the Crime and Punishment Museum, we were doing the Hawthorne Manor for about 6 months to a year, I think.
Yeah.
And that place is awesome. And then currently right now we also have that access to the Martin Plantation that is out in Cochran, Georgia. So, and that has 2 houses on it plus a graveyard. Have you ever been to that one yet, Leon? Have you?
Not yet. Not yet.
That place is phenomenal. I love that place. And let me tell you a weird thing that happened. I was just there talking to the supposed ghost that was there.